Welcome to the Women in Digital Dentistry podcast, where we empower through innovation. I'm Allison Lecoussier, your host, and each week we'll explore the mindset and the skill set of creating a successful practice and life for women in business. From the latest in dental technology to mastering marketing strategies, creating team synergy, cultivating a powerful money mindset, this podcast is your resource to empower yourself and your team to have the most success possible. Whether you're an established business professional or just beginning your journey, we're here to help you unlock your full potential, lead with confidence, and have an incredible journey along the way. Welcome to the Women in Digital Dentistry podcast. Welcome to the very first Women in Digital Dentistry podcast. My name is Allison Lecoussier. I am the founder and host of Women in Digital Dentistry, and I am here with an incredible woman in business, an incredible dentist, Dr. Kareen Jones. Welcome to Women in Digital Dentistry podcast.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here today with you.
Oh my, is that an accent? This is where we get to introduce you to our listeners, to our audience, and share all about you and your career in dentistry.
Perfect. So as you can hear, I'm French Canadian. I'm from Quebec. I've been a dentist for 27 years. I'm a mom of 4 kids, so I've been quite busy. Bought my first practice, I was pregnant with my first kid. So really motivated and energetic person. I've been working in Montreal at the beginning of my practice, and I moved to my hometown city, not where I was born, but where I raised my kids. And during COVID, I decided to build that brand new practice that I'm very proud of. It's kind of my 5th baby. And we've been working, developing a new practice that is completely different. I'm the only owner of dentists that are working for me, associates, no partner this time. So I'm trying to lead them well. I've started speaking with Furlang Technology last year, so I've been quite busy, and now I'm a part of Women in Digital Dentistry. So we're trying to develop all our women culture with technologies, and it's kind of been a good year that we've started.
I love it. And I've loved having you as one of our provincial leaders. And you have been such an incredible force behind Women in Digital Dentistry, sharing the word, sharing the message, and mostly sharing by example. And so one of the things that I've learned about you very quickly getting to know you, and it's been such a joy, is how resilient you are. And you have so much on your plate. You have, a big family, a big practice, a big team, and you take it all with such positive energy and just resilience. And it seems like nothing phases you. And so I would love for you to share, what mindset do you have that allows you to just show up with such joy and do these really big things? And it seems like you do it with such fun.
In fact, I think I was blessed with a different battery because I have a lot of energy. Energy is what people tell me the most. I'm generous and I have energy. So I'm always willing to help people. And I'm always if they don't do it, I will do it because I can do it. Because my mom's been a business owner also, and she's been working hard. So she set me a great example of hard work. But at the same time, I think my life is easier because I'm a dentist, so it's harder. She was a bathing suit designer, so it was really tough in Canada and Quebec to sell bathing suits in winter.
Yeah.
But she still taught me the power and the importance of hard work in life. Resilience sometimes, every week there's problems, but I'm trying to keep it on the surface and not to take it too personally or too deep. I'm always there's going to be a solution and tomorrow's going to be fine. So sometimes it's not nice, but I'm not staying there. I'm always waking up super happy in the morning. Today's going to be a good day. I never wake up being angry or being negative. There's no negativity. And I'm trying to swipe the negativity when this happens.
I love that. I listened to this quote the other day, and it said that we are always going to have challenges. We're always going to be facing something else, something new. Even after we get through something, we're always going to have challenges. But the way that we get through life with joy and with our full kind of potential maximized is recognizing that we can have joy through the challenges, and we can, feel happy through the challenges, and that the challenges are actually some of our greatest gifts. And I feel like you emulate that so beautifully. Beautifully.
some people like they're comfortable with what they are, but I think we have like all our group and myself included, we have a growth mindset. So we all like we always want more. You know, you don't see me because I have a big library of books like about growing and improving. And my friends are like, why don't you just like relax? And yeah, but I don't want to because
Yeah.
you get to meet new people, you get to travel, you get to grow with people that are like you. So that's why we do what we do, I think.
I absolutely agree. Tell me about your digital journey. You have a really impressive practice that uses so much digital technology. And I would love for you to share, like, why did you get into creating a modern and digital practice and workflow? And tell me a little bit more about your practice.
I think I was blessed when I said I started my practicing in Montreal at first. I was 23, 24 years old, and my older, they were partners at that time. Um, we, they were 38, 40 years old, and they were like progressive also, and they bought the CEREC. We were like one of the 4 or 5 first clinic in Quebec to have the CEREC, and nobody knew that technology at that time, and we were different. So I got like from like we said, like early adopters, like we started at the beginning. It was tough. The first CEREC was really hard to handle, but we did it, we improved, we worked on it, and I've been working with CEREC all my life, you know, since all the beginning of my practice and doing my own crown. So that was my first experience with technology. Then we had some software with ortho. I bought some software to help the practice. Like I had Dolphin, it was quite expensive at that time.
Mhm.
At that time, I think it was $20,000, but like 25 years ago. But I did invest because every time you invest something, like you get back like from the practice because it's more effective. You want to work like a professional, like you do ortho, you want to work like the ortho that do. You don't want to do like treatment that are not at the level as they have, you know. And like same time with endo, with all the different area of digital. Then we had I started doing Invisalign maybe 9 years. Is it 9 years? I don't recall what year I started, but we're taking impression. It was like terrible. And then you get the first iTero roll. Oh my God, I cannot ever go back to take impression. And I'm so happy to think that all the kids like that's gonna graduate this year from the schools, dental schools, they won't ever do an impression in their career because who does that anymore? We don't do that. Like we have the plaster thing in case like we have like an outage of electricity that we cannot scan or I don't know, but I don't know why I still have that in my lab because I won't use that. And then we started doing implants. So we got the CBCT. So now you have a lot of software, like it's the software business now that is fun. People are starting to do like dental denture how to get a print.
Mhm.
And we started also with the printers. We started with the thing that we bought on Amazon. And we got really good at that. It was cheaper because the machines were like $50,000, too expensive. So we bought the cheap one from Amazon that were working perfect, but you never know if it would work tomorrow when we need to print the model. So sorry, just gonna take a sip. Then I decided to buy like a Formlab, so now it's more like predictable.
Mhm.
And once you integrate something, you cannot ever go back. And you know, it makes our life like so much easier when it works.
100%. 100%. It's really interesting. Like I've found in my life when you are put into an environment that this is the norm, like you being put into an environment that it is normal to kind of push outside of the boundaries and be an early adopter, you just continue to do that. Like it's almost like there has to be something or someone that shows you what's possible. But then once you just recognize that even a little bit, it's so easy to expand in the space to make it just normal and part of your life. And so with your practice right now, like tell us a little bit about the workflow that you have when it comes to Invisalign and restorative. Like you are operating a super efficient practice. You're doing a ton of aligners. You have a really incredible team. Like tell us a little bit more about your workflow.
For us, the workflow starts at the consultation. So what we do like a full consult. We do free consult also, where we take all the data. So we take the pictures, we take the scan, we take the white smile picture, we take the CBCT. I don't take them as for teenagers right now. Maybe I'll start, but I'm just doing this for adults. We take all the a clinical exam, but we do like the full clinical exam, PANCEF, but that's what we do. Then my coordinator just enter everything in Dolphin while I'm looking at the picture in my office. So I didn't see the patient yet. With experience, like it doesn't take me a long time, like to know how I'm gonna treat the patient. That in my first days, for those who are starting, of course, you're gonna maybe take all the data and tell the patient you have to come back. I need to make the analysis, and we'll see after what we do. That's what I did in my first years. But we have to. It's been a long time since I've been doing ortho, so I already know, like I said, like super difficult case. I know already what I'm gonna do. So we think about how much we're gonna charge the patient, considering the difficulty and the length of the treatment. So then, so the price and stuff, I go to see my coordinator before I get to the room. So she started preparing the paperwork while I didn't see the patient yet. So everything is done before I see the patient. Then I enter the room. If it's a kid, then they go get the parents. So the parents are not in the room when we do all that exam. They bring the parents or the patient only to the rooms where I come, explain everything, but I don't even need to send them out anymore because I have so much data with my screens. I see better on my screen than I see them out. So that's the power of digital. I don't even have to see my patient. I just go to see them for attachment thing, like because the attachment, I mean, the corazon, like relationship thing,
Yes.
because I could do like distance ortho, like and give instructions from I can do that, that's for sure. But and then the patient goes with the coordinator where she re-explains everything to the patient because they have a lot of experience because I've trained them so well. Some had experience from previous office, but like all my team, sometimes they know ortho as much as I do. They don't know how to use the software like to do the clean checks, but they have so much knowledge that sometimes they're even like, oh, Kareen, why did you do that? Like this is not okay, because they know and they're allowed because we work as a team. I'm not like the big fancy doctor, the no one that knows everything, that doesn't listen to the team. Like we're a team or two teams, so we all work together. And sometimes I don't charge them. Oh no, it's not enough. You have to charge more, or it's like just decide. Like I don't care. So I think, and after that, there's the paperwork and the financial, and they go through that. But in the consultation, also we go with we do the white smile, like
Mhm.
I have a blank. How do you call that when you simulation?
Yes.
The simulation and the smile. We can have like on video. We have to go through the whole clean check. It's not like instant video now because it's going to be like the new smile in the face in a video, but it's not available still on the iTero. We can just do that so it cannot be like at the consultation. You can show them back after, but not at the consultation. Also allowing like every week they bring something new, so you have to
Yeah.
stay focused and like it's always changing. Like I think it's beginning of September 3rd, I'm on a new pilot program where they're gonna, I don't know what it is yet, but it's something with small architect that I'm on this program. So you have to always learn. And that's what I love about my job. Like we talk about it's always changing and taking technology. I think if I would have been a dentist 40 years ago where we didn't have digital, I wouldn't be a dentist anymore. Just like drilling holes and putting paste, like I wouldn't do that anymore. That's for sure. Like
No.
years I would have been like, because I need to learn. I love to learn. I love, and it's infinite.
Yes, it
Yeah.
really is. And it's continuing to get faster and faster. And I know oftentimes like people can feel overwhelmed by that, but I always challenge people to get excited about it. Like how quickly can you learn something new? How quickly can you adopt something new? How can you test this out? And that's when you stay out of that like fear base of technology and
And you
into
can
the
do
excitement
it
phase.
once a year. You have to like every
Yes.
month,
Yes.
because there's things that I want to integrate that I didn't do. It's like I want to do like a night appliance, but I need to get into it. But it's hard because I know it's hard because every day we work, we need to take care of the business, like the employees. There's always something happening, and but you have to like to keep like a part of your week where you can improve your practice because
It's so true.
and you need a team. I get ideas, but I don't have time to make them reality. So I need the team to help me. Like, I want to do this. Okay, let me help you. And you need that in your life.
100%. As the visionary CEO, main operator, like you must have a team that's able to support you in the vision that you have and the implementation that you have, and they have to be on board with you. And it sounds like you do such a good job of empowering them to be on board with you. And as you know, my story, I was a ortho assistant, a treatment coordinator, an office manager, and I was, setting up the first phase of the ClinChecks because I was going to ortho courses for over a decade. And that kept me in the practice. I loved it. And so for anybody that's listening that's worried right now about putting more on your team, because I hear that a lot right now of like, I'm scared to put more work on my team. Like it's hard to find good team. There is a difference between dumping and empowering. And what it sounds like you're doing is you're creating partnerships with your team to get them excited and you're valuing their opinions and you're making them feel like they're valued members of your practice, which I'm sure they're very happy to work there and stay.
Yeah, I think so too.
I can't
And
wait to meet
nice
them.
environment too. So, with the young generation, it's nice for them to have like they like to have like a nice environment. So it's part of all the well-being and the wellness.
Oh my gosh, so much. And, when we're training multi generations of team members, our younger generations, there are different nuances with them for sure, but they catch on to technology fast and it's fun to work with them when it comes to technology.
Yeah.
So I absolutely love that. And it sounds like your patients are coming in and just getting so much value with the technology that you're using. And, one of the reasons why we built women in digital dentistry is because the digital component of the practice allows you to do more of what you want to do and have the lifestyle that you want to have and be able to multiply your time and take better care of your patients in a really, really powerful way. So, if for anybody that's listening to this podcast is like, I don't know if I'm a digital dentist, I don't know if I really have that digital workflow, or maybe they feel nervous to start to implement some of this technology, what advice would you have for them?
Okay, it's caring about because it's expensive. So you say, is it, should I invest so much money? Will I get money back from that? I think everything that I like buying my iTeros, I bought one and then I needed a second and then I need a third, I need a fourth. Why? Because at first we're just scanning for ortho and then we started scanning for like dental and night appliance and then we're scanning everybody like for to see recession for exam for clinical reasons. So and the patients are impressed that it costs the same price as they do like in a clinic in a different clinic, but we have so much we can show them. They see, so we're selling treatments of like all kind of treatment. They see the filling, they see the crack, they see the gum recession changing because you can do time lapse. Like if you don't know, we have time lapse, so we scan our patient every 2 years, so we can show them. So I think it's really important that you stay in the time that a lot of clinic, I think in Quebec, they are investing in technologies. So I think if you don't, like you're just gonna like people won't go back to like to the you need a to impression when they can be scanned somewhere.
Yes.
So
Oh my gosh.
won't go
It's
back. So because they know they're educated, they
mhm.
know.
It's so
Not
true. It's
all
like
of them, but a lot of them know.
what you said really made me think like, what is the cost of not moving to digital technology? What's the cost of not providing your patients with their best option and not having to do impressions? And like you said, the iTero scanner, it does way more than just take a record. It's an education tool. It is a documentation tool. I think it's going to be one of the futures of the way that we're monitoring patients, like just as valuable as a bite wing, because we're being able to measure the incremental changes that are happening with patients over time. And if a patient can come to your practice and have that, and then they go to another practice and they don't have that, you think they're going to go back to that other practice or you think they're going to stay there? Absolutely not.
Especially suppose like this week I saw a patient, like we took a scan in 2021, I think, or 2020, and we rescanned him this week. First of all, if you go somewhere else, we won't be able to compare. So it's good that it stays in my office. But he was really impressed because you see when you do the time lapse, it gets red when there's a lot of change. And his upper cuspid, upper three, it was like he had a recession of 3 millimeters that was not there, and he's quite young. I said, you know what? It's not normal. You're going to need a graph because it's just going to go like from now, it's just going to move up.
Yeah.
But so now, like, we're doing a graft on this patient. Like, but because, when we went with the probe, like 1 millimeter from Alison and 1 millimeter from Kareen and 1 millimeter, sometimes it's not the same.
Yeah.
So this one, it doesn't cheat.
Yeah.
It's visual.
Exactly. And the patient understands it. Like when you say, I measured this and it's 3 millimeters, the patient's like, okay, I hear you. But when you're like, look at what's happened in the last X amount of time, they can't deny that. And in the world that we live in right now, where everything is visual, we have social media, we have, our phones we're looking at, we're on Snapchat, we're on all these apps that allow us to be so visual with what we're learning. This just makes sense in terms of the conversation, the communication that they're having. So, we could talk about this all day long, but I'm just so grateful that you get to be here as one of our mentors and teaching, other doctors how to not only just have a successful practice, but also have a successful life in the way that operate and support your kids. Tell us a little bit about some of the cool things that your kids are up to right now, because your kids are like, I don't know, they're like famous to me.
My kids, yeah, my kids. I have 4 kids, and I have a little dog that is 17 and a half. So I have like kind of a 5 kids. My oldest, Philip, is 22, is studying in medicine. So he's studying in Trois-Rivières, which is like an hour and a half from home. So I'm really proud of him. He's been doing like research this summer in the hospital because he wants to be orthopedist. So he's working in that research this summer. Now he's back to school. My second daughter is doing horseback riding. He was a hockey player too, like a really high level, but he preferred school at the end, so he didn't go. He stopped at after Cégep, which is grade 13, which doesn't exist. Then my daughter Sarah she's almost famous, and she's a horseback rider. She has a new horse that we bought in March, and she's doing amazing, jumping like meter 30s. It's, you don't know, but it's really high. And she's starting university next week in Ottawa because her horse is in Russell, which is close to Ottawa. So she's studying communication because she's really big on social media. So I think she has and she loves like imaging and picture and stuff. So I think she's gonna be a good Allison.
I love it.
My third is a boy, also is 18, is studying business in Concordia University because he's a hockey player too, and he got a scholarship, and he did a grade 12, so he went direct to the university, and now he's going to do the tryouts for the Concordia hockey team, university hockey, and my baby is in secondaire 5, which is like your grade 12, but it's 11. She's graduating this year, and she's doing ringette, and she's in a tryout tonight. And she also has a horse, and she's doing horseback riding. Her horse was injured this year, so she just started back to jump with this one. So that's kind of keeping me busy and a little bit bored because I'm investing a lot of money in my kids,
Yeah,
technologies and the kids.
exactly. Your two biggest bills, technology and kids. It pays off, both of them. Both those investments, I think, pay off.
And I did a dental mission this summer. We went to I was in Hungary, I think, Honduras, and I bring my daughter because I want her to learn that she's really privileged, and I wanted her to see that we can go for vacation instead of going to the beach. We're gonna go work and see
Mhm.
what the world is all about. So that's what we did with Isabel, my baby, in July.
That's amazing. Oh my gosh, I saw the photos and the videos. It looked fantastic. And like,
Yeah.
another thing that I know you put into your schedule and fit in and made it happen. And so again, I'm so inspired by you.
Thank you.
You always show up with such a positive attitude. And like you said, it's not like things aren't going hard, or it's not like things aren't difficult sometimes, but you just choose the mindset to allow yourself to do the things that you want to do with your life. So, as we wrap up our very first Women in Digital Dentistry
Yes.
podcast, your very first podcast, which you've done such an incredible job with, if you could give the women in this community, the women in dentistry, any piece of advice on their lives, their careers, just how they can become, their best selves and live their best life, what advice would you give?
I would say to reach out to mentors, to people with experience with wherever you want to go, because it's really easy to lose yourself, like trying to find your path. So at first, of course, you need a vision, but sometimes you need people to clarify your vision. Life sends you some signs, and sometimes you have to make sure that you don't lose like money, time, or
Mhm.
because life is short. So we need to get to the point like as soon as possible, and find good mentors, people that will not try to, that will want you to succeed, that will
Yeah.
not be jealous, that will want we want you to grow and be as good or better than we are.
Yes.
Because at the end, after 27 years, if I stop practicing, suppose in 5, 10 years, and everything that I've learned and developed, and it's like going to trash, you need to give back.
Mhm.
Like,
Spoken
giving is receiving.
Giving is receiving, and spoken like a true mentor for women in digital dentistry. We are so lucky to have you. And if anybody is listening to this and feels inspired and wants to become a member or to join Women in Digital Dentistry, please click the link below because we'd love to support you in your journey in digital dentistry and spend time with incredible women like Dr. Kareen Jones. So thank you, for bringing the energy, for bringing the fun all of the time. And we can't wait to continue learning from you, being inspired by you, and just continue growing together. So we'll see you all on another episode of Women in Digital Dentistry.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Women in Digital Dentistry. We hope you found today's discussion inspiring and full of actionable insights to help you thrive in your practice and beyond. If you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to subscribe so you never miss an update. And if you know someone who would benefit from these conversations, please share this podcast with them. We would love to hear your thoughts and feedback, so feel free to leave us a review or connect with us on social media. Together, we are building a powerful community of women leading the way in digital dentistry. Until next time, keep innovating, keep growing, and keep making a difference in the world of dentistry. Thanks for listening.